How's it going, everyone? Welcome into the 2025 JUCO Wrap-Up Show. I'm Jeff Hinkle, joined by Titus Cleveland and this guy, Big Will Levinson, on my right. This is a special. It's a chance to look for, it's a chance for us to look back at that 2025 tournament and everything that happened on the field and off it during the JUCO World Series. Let's start things out with all of the 10 teams that came into Grand Junction. Will, why don't you take us away?
Yeah, and let us start with the team up over here, and that is the only team in the entire field that has 2 national championships entering this tournament. That's the McLennan Highlanders, and also, of course, they haven't been here in 37 years, but back since for the first time since 1988, the Lakeland Lakers, and a team here for the first time ever was the Buccaneers of Florida Southwestern.
But it didn't stop there, Will. You had the Shelton State Bucks as well, returning from last year. This is their 8th appearance in this tournament. Then you had the Salt Lake Bruins making their 2nd appearance, and not to leave out Eastern Oklahoma, who are also making their 2nd appearance in this tournament.
Yeah, and then we move on to the defending champions, looking to go back-to-back for the first time since Central Florida did it, and that is the Blinn Buccaneers. Then you go to the Johnson County Cavaliers, back-to-back World Series appearances for them. Then the Walter State Senators, the #1 overall seed in this year's tournament, 21 straight wins going into the tournament. And then the Flodar Stingers, again, making back-to-back World Series appearances. Now, Titus, we got to visit with one of the facilities that these teams are using. Why don't you tell us a little about it?
A lot of those teams went down to the local training facility, Armor Athletics, and became that, go-to spot to get those daddy hacks ready before the games. I got to sit down with the owner of the local batting cage who grew up watching this tournament and just wanted to give back. Take a look.
The boys, JUCO boys are coming in. You're coming in to watch these guys, and as they're in here, I'm pointing out, see how quiet their body is that as they load when they hit, and because it is, it is their job right now to be really good at baseball.
What's going on, Western Slope? Titus Cleveland here at Armor Athletics Sports Training Facility, where the current 10 JUCO teams that's in town is using this facility to get their, as you say, daddy hacks, okay? And right behind me, I'm about to speak with the owner of this place, Brett Armour, to talk about the impact that it's having on the local youth athletes right here in Grand Junction. Come on. You're really rooted into the town of Grand Junction. Yeah. When you put a facility out like this and you know what it can do for the local youth kids here in town, how does that make you feel as someone who, quote unquote, say went through their process, took the same steps that they took?
Yeah, a lot of it is just giving kids. There's a lot of good athletes on the Western Slope, and trying to find ways to provide them opportunities that the big city kids have and really help them expose the talent that's over here.
This week, JUCO World Series, you got some of the best teams in the country coming to this town. Some of them are actually using your facility. What does that do for you, knowing that the work that you put in to where you can now have something like this for some of the best kids on a collegiate level?
It's pretty flattering when those kids who are playing, playing in places that have incredible facilities themselves for the junior college level and such, but having them come in and hearing the comments of wow, and different things, yeah, it's flattering, and it's exactly what I wanted to create. When we started on this thing, we weren't going to do it just good enough. We're going to do it right, we're going to do it well, and then we're going to maintain that, and that's kind of been the mantra we've carried.
The ups and downs of playing college baseball. Just speak a little bit, if you could, the difficulty that it is to get to this point as a JUCO athlete.
Yeah, JUCO baseball is just different. I think it's grittier, there's less glam. It is a grind. It's truly a grind, and you come together as brothers, and then you chase this goal. My junior college, we would practice winning the national championship. It's what you're chasing. This is the epitome, and that's the cool part, is junior college has its own, and it's such a historical thing at this point around here. Junction's on the map for JUCO baseball players.
Yeah, and Titus, after we sat down with Brett, me and you got to kind of take a few hacks in the batting cage, right?
Yeah, I hurt my shoulder during that process. I don't know if, I was made to be hitting 95 miles per hour, but those JUCO boys definitely.
We definitely forgot to stretch. Will, you got to join us next time. It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks beautiful, great facilities, and so cool for these teams to come out here and enjoy the amenities at the Western Slope Pass Golf.
Yeah, stick around, folks. We got more on the other side of this break. Hey folks, welcome back into the 2025 JUCO World Series wrap-up show. Now let's talk about some more of the off-field activities that some of the athletes get to experience here on the Western Slope. And for many players in the JUCO World Series, this is their first ever time in Colorado. One team from Morristown, Tennessee got to go see the Grand Mesa, and I got to ride the bus with them. Check it out. From autographs to bus games.
2, 1. Avalanche!
Screen time to offloading time. Players in the JUCO World Series spend a lot of their time right here on the bus. But the Walters State Senators got to take a little time on Thursday and unwind up on the Grand Mesa.
I made the mistake the first couple of years that I was able to make it out here that I didn't do any of the sightseeing with the team. Thank goodness that I've been blessed enough to make it back up here and took the time to come and see some of the scenery, because it's really things you don't get to experience. It's almost life-changing to get to experience this.
Head coach David Shelton has been to the JUCO World Series 10 times, and he's learning over the years to embrace it while you can, because these are the memories that are going to last a lifetime.
You want them to be focused and locked in, but you also want them to really take it in and enjoy the experience.
And if you could describe the day trip in one word, special.
It's nothing like sitting here at the Grand Mesa Lodge in a rocking chair and overlooking the lake with the snow and the pine trees and letting our guys run around and explore. It's a pretty special place.
Some may see it as a tactical advantage to go up to the Mesa and overtrain at around 10,000 feet, but Coach Shelton says the acclimation period is already over. They took care of that in Denver.
At no point once we landed in Denver have they been at the same altitude, so they've been preparing from that standpoint. Even walking to the Rockies game, I think I got my first altitude headache walking from the hotel to the Rockies game in Denver.
For the players, JUCO is a chance to grow the bond that they've shared all year.
We're really close to each other. Like, we all live in the same apartments, and there's not like one group of guys that all hangs out. Like, everybody hangs out with everybody, and it's just, we've grown together, gone through so much work in the fall and been through all the spring, and we're just so close to each other.
Some of the guys went fishing, some with makeshift poles, others with ones they bought at Walmart, like this one they nicknamed the Princess Pole. And while only one fish was caught on the day right as they were getting back on the bus, the memories made here will last forever. Jeff Hinkle, KREX News.
Well, it looks like those Senators had a blast up there in the Grand Mesa. But folks, ball boys, they have been a part of baseball for what seems like forever. In the JUCO World Series, that, of course, is no exception. I got to talk to two of this year's ball boys who returned to their yearly summer activity with a brand new mindset. If you've been to JUCO, you've likely seen kids on the side of the field wearing red shirts, chasing balls. Many of these kids have been doing this for years, and that's the case for two local athletes, Mason Lopez and Brett Whitek. But for both the former high school baseball stars, they have a new perspective this year, returning to their early summer JUCO job as college baseball players themselves.
Coming back here, being a JUCO baseball player, seeing Salt Lake, the team that comes out of our West District, so it's kind of surreal, I've been coming to this tournament since I was a little kid, and then, going off to play JUCO ball, it's awesome.
Coming back here, and I had a couple teammates play in the World Series last year, and so it's just full circle moment to, see what they went through and see where they are now, see how much improvement they've made, and also it's, these guys are maybe going to be pitching against you, hitting against you in a year or two, so it's like, see what you're up against, see what you can compete against, and then helping out around here. It's a fun week. It's long hours, but it's fun. You just get out, watch baseball, and I know that if I, as a pitcher, I'd be very appreciative of other people, prepping the field for me, and so I'm fortunate enough to be the one prepping and helping these guys out and helping them perform at their best.
And if you were at JUCO, you likely saw the big head of Mr. JUCO walking around. But one day during the tournament, Mr. JUCO was looking a little taller than usual. Let's see. Mike's probably going to get muffled, so I'm going to move it. Whoop. Yeah. Mr. JUCO's coming. Mr. JUCO's coming. Just your standard Mr. JUCO coming through. That's right, kids. Mr. JUCO is here. No shoulder bump?
Gimme. Welcome back into the 2025 JUCO wrap-up show. The game of baseball may be played between the two white foul lines, but some players have a special story of how they got there. And for many players, just getting to the Junior College World Series one time is a dream come true. But for one Florida Southwestern player, he went through the process as a fan and now as a player. Let's hear the story of Nick Pereira. The road to get to play in Grand Junction takes many forms. Some come here first as a player, others as a fan.
I just stay back and watch, and seeing what the environment is around here in the games, it really pushed me to try to get here as much as I could.
Nick Pereira had never stepped foot on the Western Slope before the tournament this week, but his brother David played in 2 JUCO World Series with Miami-Dade in 2021 and Central Florida in 2022. Now it's Nick's turn to follow the path that his brother set out for him.
He's been a role model ever since I was younger. Ever since I saw him start playing baseball, I just wanted to be better than him. And that's just what pushed me as much as I could. And for him going through the same path that I've gone through, it's definitely, he's shown me the steps, and I'm just building on what he already built.
But Nick's journey actually started in Ocala, Florida, at the same place his brother played. Buccaneers coach Zach Cole took over the Florida Southwestern program in 2022 and actually recruited Nick to play for the Patriots at Central Florida after he had worked with his brother David. That all changed once Cole took the job at Florida Southwestern.
It was definitely hectic. I was supposed to move to Ocala in 2 weeks, and then he got the job here. And he was kind of timid to try to get me to change at first, but talked to my parents, talked to the people around me, and I think I made the right decision.
Nick has shined at Florida Southwestern. He's known as the team MVP. He's a workhorse behind the plate. And next, he's signed to play for Tampa. A journey 2 schools in the making and a sibling mentorship along the way. Yeah, Nick actually bought that cowboy hat that you see on his head at a rest stop on his way into Grand Junction. Great guy, great interview. Stick around, we got even more coming up after the break.
After all the action on the field, it all came down to one game. The big stage was set at the Alpine Bank Junior College World Series. The top dogs for Walter State taking on the 8th seed Salt Lake Bruins. For the first time in this entire tournament, these two teams finally went head-to-head. No more speculations, no more what-ifs, just big bats, big moments, and a shot at glory. There was just a certain feeling inside Simplesio Field Saturday night. 8 days, 18 games of baseball, all leading up to this. One game. For all of the marbles, a crowd of nearly 13,000 was on hand, and they made their presence felt in this 9-inning battle between the top seed Appalachian District champion Walter State Senators and the 8th seed West District champion Salt Lake Bruins. And what a moment pregame when Kirby Puckett Jr. and Kirby III got to throw out the first pitch of a national championship.
Just his name still being mentioned this many years later, and people still following into his footsteps, trying to be as great as he was. It's just an honor just to hear how great your dad was from everybody who comes in contact with you. So it's just a huge honor.
And then it was time to settle this once and for all and crown a JUCO World Series champion. And what a well-played game this was. Big-time pitching, hitting, and fielding from both teams as we found ourselves tied at 5 in the 7th. When the Salt Lake Bruins took a 7-5 lead, a lead they had no plans to relinquish. But as Walter State pitcher Ryan Smith got a huge 0 here in the top of the 9th, the Senators had one final chance to keep their championship hopes alive. The one problem, they had to face this man right here. The best closer all week long, Salt Lake's Darius Henderson was consistently at his best. in the biggest moments.
I usually just get pissed off. That's my way of getting the anxiety out, or the fear or doubt is just getting mad. I just seem to throw harder and throw better.
It's a fascinating approach, but it has worked for Henderson. After getting 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th Saturday, Henderson just needed his anger to work one more time.
I was speechless. I was like, thank God he caught it. I was, thank you for catching it. But it was just a lot to take in. It was a lot of happy, joyful emotions.
And perhaps the coolest part about Salt Lake winning it all is the local connections. Former Colorado Mesa Maverick Jason Crawford has helped lead this team as an assistant coach.
I don't even know what to say. Like, you always watch people on TV and they don't know what to say, and I don't know what to say right now other than I'm so proud of our team, our community. I'm thrilled for them. And our guys fought their tails off for this.
And former Montrose Red Hawk Gage Wareham wasn't a starter, but he brought more energy than anyone for the Bruins.
I just wanted to do every single thing that I could to help us win. That's the most important thing. And, I could sit around and moan about not getting playing time, but at the end of the day, when the Bruins are winning, that's all that matters. Can't even explain it. There's not even words that come to my mind about it. Just like you said, growing up around it, the whole shebang, and, finally being in this position where we are the best team in the country.
And there you see it. Yes, indeed. They are the unquestioned best team in the country, are the Salt Lake Bruins. Huge shout out to both Jason Crawford, Gage Wareham, the local connections, bringing a championship back home. But what a gutsy performance by Salt Lake. I mean, this game was tied at 5 in the 7th, and you guys were there. You could just feel just the intensity in that building. But for Salt Lake to get that timely hitting, get the pitching when they needed it in the end, that's what champions are made of.
Yeah, you said it well. I mean, this was a back-and-forth battle from the start. You had the defense play. They stepped up. I think we even remembered both teams used their ace pitchers. So that was going to come down to who can last the longest on the mound. And Salt Lake just fought every single inning like they did all through the entire tournament.
Yeah, they did. They were gutsy. They were the underdog going in. They were the 8th seed out of 10. So nobody really expected them to give Walter State even a little bit of a fight, including me. I will eat my crow here. I went into this championship game and I was like, oh, it's 8 versus 1, blah, 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 whatever. Walter State's going to be the champion. But lo and behold, as you can see behind us, the Salt Lake Bruins are taking it home.
Yeah. If we could just flash back to the beginning of this tournament, we all had our picks. That was not the team that we selected.
No, it was not.
None of us did. Yeah, we all were wrong. They proved us wrong for sure. They came in here and they meant business all tournament long. And you mentioned coming into the tournament, a big factor, Salt Lake, they had that Friday day off, and it's a day off they earned by getting out of the losers bracket, winning 3 in a row to get there. And that made a big difference in the end. Listen, I'm a Florida boy. I picked the Florida team. I had Florida Southwestern. They went 0-2. Probably going to change things moving forward after that. Not the best performance. But all credit goes to the Bruins because from the start of this tournament, it just felt like they had that grittiness, that ability to, when things got toughest, they were at their best.
Yeah, the Florida Southwestern Buccaneers, again, all power to them, went 2-Q. You picked them. I picked Walter State, so I got the second place team right.
You're close.
So I was close. I had Walter State and Flodar. And Flodar got to the final 5 and then kind of fizzled out. But Titus?
McLennan held their own. They played as hard as they could. I mean, I heard stories of them getting to Armour Athletics at 7 a.m. in the morning just to get hits in. That's what a championship team looks like. They just fell short at the end. But what would you say is the most outstanding part of this entire week from you guys?
Well, I'm a little biased. I got a chance to be in the helicopter that landed on the field on Memorial Day. That was an experience unlike any other. That has to top the list for me. I mean, I'm not sure what I did to get to be on that helicopter, but it was certainly something that I will never forget, that experience.
Yeah. I saw that interview, man. The views from the helicopter were insane. I'm a little bit jealous that you got to do that, but you did it, and you know what? Wouldn't be better if it wasn't, just you having the spotlight for that. That was amazing, man.
It was incredible. You can check that story out at westernslope.now.com.
Titus, your favorite moment?
I mean, I love Jake Mortensen, man, from Salt Lake. That was my guy. He reminded me of someone who I grew up with, hard-nosed, competitor, and just wanted to get the best win, best possibility out of that game. So I got to go with Jake Mortensen.
Yeah, see, I got to go to the Mesa 2 times with 2 different teams. It was 2 completely different trips, but that's all the time we got for this year's JUCO wrap-up show from Jeff Hinkle, Titus Cleveland, Will Levinson. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.